Why hello, Angharad Sage here. Speaking about motherhood, what a perfect fucking time, being that it's motherhood. We're celebrating it for Mother's Day this week. And hi, good job you're alive. Hi. Lovely to see you. I want to be a little bit raw and vulnerable with you and share how motherhood has changed me as a CEO in this live, in the hopes that it will firstly activate you. Of course it's going to, me being a manifester. But I also want to share some wisdom through my story and to help you feel like you are not alone within your feelings, within your realms, within your portals, and within your company as you set out to do your soul's mission in a way that's uniquely you, but also in as a way that impacts people very greatly in this world. Hey. Okay, so when you're tuning in, let me know where you're here from, how many kids you have, and I might come back and read the comments. I will on the replay, I'll be replying back, but on live, I sometimes, if there's a question, I will capture, otherwise I will see on the replay. Okay, so motherhood is a very interesting journey because there is a lot of KPIs. There is a lot that we perceive to be right and wrong within the realm of motherhood and within the realm of being a parent because we judged our parents. We judged our parents. As we became adults, we went on a healing journey, and normally healing journeys have a period of separation. And this separation is really important because it enables us to see through the lens of our individuality, through our ego, through our perspective, through our victimhood. It allows us to go on the journey and figure out what is ours and what's not and go on a healing journey. But that separation is very often tangled up with, or it's the first part of the healing journey. And then we go through another phase. We'll go through another phase where through the healing journey, we have reclaimed versions of us. The versions of us that were left trapped in a time loop, trapped in trauma, trapped in her own story, trapped in your own versions of events, trapped in her own emotions. And what we learn on that journey, which so many of us have been through, is that we are the only one who could actually ever help us through that. I know you're resonating. We are the only ones who actually knew what to say to the younger versions of ourselves because no one else actually got it. Nobody else could possibly actually understand what we were going through except you, because very often our inner child journey and healing our inner child is actually one where we realize that even we didn't know what was going on. It's only in hindsight and with a different perspective and with maturity and with wisdom that we can actually see that there were so many layers and so many multidimensionality realities playing out at the exact same time. So the reason why we were in that situation and then how that impacted us. So on the journey, we are reclaiming ourselves. We are reclaiming versions of us that were stuck. We are reparenting. We are grounding. We are just sitting with younger versions of us that weren't understood. And that, from that place, that will impact how we parent. That impacts our journey. That, for a lot of us, that's turned into, being a conscious parent, or being a gentle parent, or just listening to our children, or utilizing human design like I do for my children. And also, there is another phase. Thank you for the love. Yes, I'm so glad you're resonating. And this next phase was very important for me as a CEO, as someone who declared that I wanted to create my own wealth, to create my own income streams, to be a self-led person, because I'm a Capricorn. Have you got some Capricorn placements? You probably see it all throughout me. I'm a Capricorn sun and rising, and I have other planets and Capricorn as well in my first house, and there is I have a lot of drive, I have a lot of determination, I have a lot of commitment, and that was really important for me to see through in a financial way, in a way that fed into my family and created wealth for my family, but also fed into everyone else's lives through my codes, through my speaking, through my company, to be able to help you create what it is that you want to create. And while I was on that journey, and I still am, but the next phase that I realized is there was a lot of conditioning around how CEO mamas show up and what they prioritize and what their values are and what they do and what they outsource and what they don't do and how they communicate and how much time they spend with their children, how they spend time with their children. And I realized that there was a massive mismatch for me. What I had been receiving through my undefined centers, for me it's undefined head center and crown. I had both of them undefined, my third eye and my crown, both of them undefined. What I realized was my lived experience of my wisdom was activating me to take me on a different path. And for me, for us, for our family, that looked like homeschooling. And I wanted to have a giant impact on my children. I wanted so much time with them. And these past, I think it might be 4 years we've been homeschooling now, I have spent the most incredible time with my children. And the thing that I learnt on the journey is that just like we do, if you're a coach, if you're an online entrepreneur, if you're into personal development, if you're into spiritual development, if you're into these kind of realms, it's a copy and paste that gets to come through into our parenting. The boundaries that I learned to set with my clients comes through my parenting. The softness and dealing with issues and building resiliency comes through into my parenting. And what I've realized is that it looks so fucking different than I had imagined it would be even 2 years ago. But definitely 4 years ago, definitely 6 years ago, definitely 10 years ago. My eldest is now 10. It looks so fucking different. And guess what? I've never had more peace in my life than I do right now. In particular, in my journey as a mother. And the keys that have enabled me to do this have been my own journey of focusing on myself, of focusing on my career, of focusing on my company, of focusing on my impact, and focusing on my personal vocation. And we know this, there was a massive, well, at least I saw a massive rise in content online in the, 10, 15 years ago about what being a mother is and how we can also have careers and how we can have help in the home and how we get to focus on ourselves and all these kind of things. There was a lot of information out there around, and it trained me. It was my training ground for how I can do things differently. And then as I integrated it, so much more came online. I had so much more wisdom come online. And do you know what the one piece was that activated that for me? It was my own inner child healing journey, knowing that I was always wise, knowing that we were always capable, knowing that we always had so much to bring to the table, and maybe I was certainly muted or didn't have the opportunity or was too busy helping the rest of my family with the duties they have. And through that journey of me honoring my younger self and the healing journey that I shared about earlier, that enabled me to see my children through a completely unique perspective. And that perspective has meant that as we homeschool, as we go about life, I'm not the only leader. My husband is not the only leader. Our children are already leaders. They are born leaders. And that is a very different frequency to hold as a mama than just not just a mum, but the other lens that I always saw it is that I am the shepherd for these people. I am the caretaker for my children. And what has transpired over the past probably 2 years with sitting in this completely new realm with our children has been the most incredible journey and flourishing with my children I could have ever imagined. Being a mother and being a CEO and being into spiritual development and personal development, into relationship development, all of these layers is what has created the paradigm I am in now. So if you are ever in a point in your life where you feel like you are choosing your relationship or your business, or being a mama, a homeschooling mama, traveling, or running a company, you need to hear this. The more that you activate yourself across multiple different dimensions, the greater your timeline will be. It is not this or that. It is this and that. All of it put together creates a completely different paradigm. It's simply as simple as You can make pancakes with flour and egg and milk. And that's amazing. It's an amazing meal. It's what everyone does. Everyone makes pancakes. Everyone raises children. Or everyone has a career. It's either and or, right? But if you add in some cocoa, if you add in some vanilla, if you add in some baking powder and some baking soda and that's some butter or some oil, and you bake it in the oven instead of a frying pan, you get a fucking cake. They are worlds apart from one another. When you eat a cake versus pancakes, they are worlds apart from one another. And yet you are still thinking that you need to pick one or the other. You are still thinking that you don't have enough time, or you don't have enough resources, or there's so much going on, something needs to give. Why are you playing into that frequency? Because more on your plate, more multidimensionality, more experiences means more wisdom. It means more opportunities. It means a greater paradigm. It means a higher timeline. And so if you are playing into the realm, or you find yourself feeling or thinking or that you are stuck because you have too much on your plate, you need to let motherhood initiate you into your creative power. You literally took 2 singular cells and created a child in your womb. How dare you think you have too much on your plate in your life? How dare you let your ideas of what your limitations are dictate the success that you can have and what you can create and the impact that you have? Because the more that you have in your life, the more that you continue to spin the plates of multidimensionality and mastery, the greater the output you will have. And if you want a quiet life, if you want a slow life, if you want a period where you get rest, that is completely different. And that is fine. But if you are a CEO and a mama and you want to be both, and you want to know the paradigm where you get to have, like, where you look back at the past versions of you and go, how the fuck do I fit all of this in? I don't understand. Like, I look how full my life is and how beautiful it is with renovations and being a parent and my relationships and my community and my company and my clients and my team and the output that I do and my body and my health and my healing and everything that I do, the travel, everything that I do, and the healing, the Galactic, the worlds, the paradigms, the meditations, how much time I spend in all of these places. It shouldn't all fit. And here I am with my hands out to you going like this. This is the feast you get to eat. This is the cake you get to have. This is the reality that you get to create through choosing more, through choosing yourself, and through trusting yourself. Because the gap to from where you are now to where you are going is self-trust. It is clarity. It is trust. It is your self-trust. That's what they keep on saying. Trust, trust, trust. It's your trust. It's your self-trust. And that is an inside journey. You don't not care. I talk about this all the time in my mastermind. You don't not care about what someone else says or what someone else thinks because you chose to not think about what they think, or because you chose to think, I don't care about it. The reason why you don't care about what someone else thinks or someone else's opinion is because you are so self-validated on the inside that you don't notice. You don't care, but it's not because you tried to not care. It's because you focused on yourself, on your inner world, on your inner journey. And if you are being called into this space right now and know there is an invocation for you within this message and within this timeline right now, I have an invitation for you to come to New Zealand with me for a Mama Matrix 3-day 101 retreat. Yes. So this is a special only for the week of Mother's Day, and it ends on Tuesday, New Zealand time at the end of day, so Monday for Northern Hemisphere. You come to New Zealand, once you land in Taranaki, which is the region I'm in, then everything is taken care of. We have premium transfers, we have accommodation, we have food at the best restaurants, a spa moment, not a day because we only have 3 days, we have a spa moment, and I am taking care of you for 3 days. And the time, there is an itinerary we have created, and it is beautiful, but it is customizable. But if you like to be informed as to how it might look, or the draft, it's customizable since it's a one-on-one retreat. You can, I mean, the links are fucking everywhere. They're on my stories, they're on my Instagram highlights. You can also message me. But there is an itinerary, and in this time, we are going to spend the same amount of time that I normally spend with my private clients over 3 months in 3 days. You can expect rapid change. You can expect invocations, activations, deep support, deep rest, and the most incredible time together. Whether you are a mama already, whether you're a to-be mama, or whether you know it's something in the future that's coming for you, does not have to be filtered through the lens of mum, but it is a Mother's Day special, and I'm fucking sure that it is going to be coming up. If you want to come to New Zealand, it's sometime in 2024. The dates are all, what's that word? Adjustable for the right. It's a private retreat, so we are looking at our calendar and your calendar and picking dates that work for us. The investment is $7,000 and it's available until the 14th of May 2024. It's pay in full unless you want to pay a deposit. The deposit is a minimum of 10%, and then the payments you can pay off in chunks, and then we book it all in once you've paid in full. You can either message me or email my team, support@angharadsage.com, and Jess, our relationship manager, will sort you out with any questions and payment links, etc. I send you so much love, and thank you for being here, receiving this frequency, and I will see you again very soon on a live, because I'm going to be doing more. Okay, lots of love. Bye, mamas.